Guys, so today I thought I would share with you some of my tips for long haul travel. I've been lucky enough to travel a lot with my family over the years, especially long haul. So I have a lot of experience with these things and I've learned a lot through trial and error. I thought these were a few things that might help other people if it's your first time traveling, or just things that I've learned that hopefully can help you. So my first tip would be to dress the part. I don't mean wear pajamas, but if you're going on a long haul flight, you need to be comfortable. I would suggest wearing leggings. I usually wear workout leggings and a t-shirt of some sort. If you're going to a colder country, you should wear a jumper that will keep you warm. It might be cold in the airport and it's definitely going to be cold on the plane. So I would suggest, even if you're wearing, like I did most recently when I travelled to Singapore, it was going to be very hot there, but I still wore long leggings and a long sleeve t-shirt with a high neck. And having a high neck to me is important because it's cold on airplanes and you don't want to be getting sick. Also, it depends on a country that you're going to. They might have a dress code. So also, if I've been to Dubai, you might not want to be wearing anything too revealing. Even in an airport, it's just something you don't really want to do. I would also suggest maybe travelling with a scarf. Scarves can be helpful. Or I wore a puffer vest over for my layover in London because, again, it was January in London, which is 5 or 6 degrees, and then 30 in Singapore. So it just helps to transition that, and the long sleeve cotton t-shirt will keep you at a regular temperature on the flight itself. Along with that, I would also say shoe-wise, you should wear covered in shoes. Even if you're traveling from a warm country to a warm country and you might wear sandals, I would suggest like Toms or ballet flats, something just that are covered in toes. It's a weird thing, but you can really hurt yourself wearing sandals in airports and on flights. There's a lot of metal, trolleys, baggage claim bags, anything, and I've done it myself and it's just, I wouldn't suggest it. So Toms are a great thing to travel in, and ballet flats. I wore Uggs because it was cold. They're also fab to travel in because it can be cold on airplanes. I feel the cold, so I think that's a good thing to bring. Yeah, just definitely not sandals. Sandals are not a good choice to travel in my opinion. Just in my opinion. So my second tip that I would have is to start adjusting to the time zone that you're going into on the flight, because for the most part when you're traveling long haul, you're going into a completely different time zone. So once you get on that flight, change your phone, the time on your phone, change your watch, change if your laptop doesn't automatically do it, change that. Change everything so that you're starting to deal with your jet lag before you even get there. If you're only there for a short while, you don't want it affecting your trip and you don't want to be tired all the time, or you don't want to be awake all night and then not wanting to sleep during the day and everything. So that is a big thing. My dad travels a lot and he always enforces that when we're on flights. So my third tip would be, if you are keeping your handbag down with you or your main carry-on with you for this flight, you should separate your items into pouches of different categories, just because things will spill and you really don't want to lose anything. It's much easier to keep things contained and they are much less likely to get damaged that way. Headphones can break, chargers can break, and that's the last thing you want, especially if you're going to another country and you're trying to find a new phone charger or headphones or something like that. It's just really annoying. So I would definitely suggest separating things into pouches and putting your travel documents into a pouch, especially if you're traveling alone like I have been. It's just easier to not be fumbling around in a queue. I use this pouch. I don't even know where I got it, just a stationery shop, and it's got a zip. And I have it in a couple different sizes. I've used it for group trips as well, a bigger one where we kept all of our passports and all of our documents together. It's just easier that way. But things like this are like €2 and they're super easy. It just really helps keep your things together or apart. So I'd also suggest for your liquids that you don't just use a plastic Ziploc bag if you can get your hands on something else. So in Sephora they sell these, and it's Beauty on the Fly, but these are much more sturdy and they can actually hold just as much, if not the same, because they're more sturdy for holding your liquids and your cosmetics if you're bringing stuff on the flight. I had a different one before that was also TSA approved, but it broke, and this one seems a lot stronger, so I would definitely suggest these if you can get your hands on them. They're part of a deal, but you can buy them for $5 separately, and it's actually definitely worth it instead of all the plastic, just Ziploc bags you're going to go through. So another thing that I actually only have started doing recently, even though I've been travelling since I was quite young, is I got a pair of better headphones, and they weren't super expensive. I just got them in an airport because I was taking a lot of flights last summer, and they are noise cancelling headphones. They're just from Sony, and I found them amazing. It really, really helps to have noise cancellation on them. Even the headphones that they give you on a flight are not fab, so even if you bring just like Apple ones or just any other ones that you have at home, they're going to be better than the ones that they give you free on the flight, obviously, for the in-flight entertainment, which is on the vast majority of long-haul flights now. And the sound quality is going to be poor anyways, but having headphones like these is really helpful. And to listen to your own music and everything, it's just, airplanes are noisy. These are amazing. That's all I really have to say. Going along with the technology theme, I would suggest bringing a charging block with you on a flight. You're allowed to bring these, and it's really helpful if you have a layover somewhere and maybe the plugs aren't the same and you didn't bring an adapter on your carry-on, so you can't charge your phone and you need your phone. So these are amazing. This one's from Oracle, but a lot of the flights now do have USB ports that you can plug in your phone when you're actually on the flight, which is great, but just make sure you have a charger that you can plug in as a USB, because most of them do not have 3-pin or 2 pins. So another tip that only applies in certain conditions, but I would definitely just suggest it for everyone anyways, is to bring a pen. Not this one is a purple gel pen, but preferably like a black ballpoint pen. Just bring it with you, have it in your bag. You probably always should anyways, it's just helpful to have. But I had forgotten when I got on my flight that I was going to have to fill in a landing card. It was really helpful that I had my pen, and I had also screenshotted the address of my hotel. So I was saved there, but make sure you have pens with you because you might have to fill in documents. Also know where you're going and the address of it and how long, the exact amount of time that you're staying. Things like that you need to know because you may have to fill them in. So the last thing I have to talk about is your actual carry-on bag. So I had a normal roller bag that I had all my clothes and everything in, but then for things that I had to put through security like liquids and for my laptop and phone and everything like that, obviously I was going to use a handbag type one. So this is my Barrington tote, and this is what I used this time. It's great because it has really easy access to get in and out, like for your documents and passport and everything like that, and boarding pass. You really need that. It just makes everything so much easier to be able to grab things when you need it. It also fits my laptop, which was great, and chargers and everything. It has a lot of inside pockets, which I found really helpful. And this was just a great purchase, and I'll be using it for travelling a lot more. So the only other random tips I have are bring hair ties, or you have a satin scrunchie because your hair might get super frizzy on the flight or super flat, so tie it up with that and it won't damage it. I would also, it's a weird one, but I would make sure your nails are cut and they're maybe painted, or bring a nail file with you because it's the absolute worst to tear your nail getting onto a flight and having to sit there for 12 hours with a broken nail catching in absolutely everything. It drives me absolutely crazy, and it's happened more than once. I really should have learned my lesson, but that's another weird one. So I think that's everything I have to suggest for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope these tips were of some help to you.